Here are my top 10 tips for landlords. Number 1 is know your audience. Having a clear understanding of the intended target market for a property and presenting it accordingly will maximise your rental yield, minimise your void periods between lets, and guide investment decisions throughout the length of your investment. The questions to ask yourself are: what type of tenant do I want? What things is the tenant looking for when they look for a property to rent? And what do I need to do in order to appeal to that tenant? Number 2 is understand the market. The lettings market comprises many different segments, each with their own nuisances and specifications. Think carefully about how the market operates and choose an agent who understands how the market operates and can advise you accordingly. The questions to ask yourself here are: what is the best strategy for my property? How can I maximise my investment? And what contract terms are most suitable to me? Ensure that your property complies with legal requirements. Residential tenancies have been subject to a mass of complex controls and regulations ever since legislation was first introduced in 1915. Landlords need to be aware of these responsibilities and of the penalties for failing to comply, which can range from civil actions to criminal prosecution. Every stage of property management processes is governed by legislation. The main areas of legislation concern are energy performance certificates, gas safety certificates, electrical safety certificates, and smoke and carbon monoxide detection. Number 4 is prepare the property for marketing. Finding a good tenant quickly is key to maximising your income for a property. Regardless of the property's size, location, or the target tenant, those who let best are those with a modern and clean, tidy condition. Prior to marketing, make sure that your property is free from defects such as mould and condensation, has a modern appearance and doesn't feel dated, and is ready to be occupied. For example, clean windows, lights working, light bulbs present. And number 5, unfurnished or furnished. Now this is always a tricky question on which to give advice, as there are usually tenants looking for both depending on circumstances and location. And the choice as to which way to decide will be part depend on your own investment considerations and also the strategy that you decide to adopt to try and ensure the property is let to the intended market as soon as possible. Some things to consider are: what is the target market more likely to want? It's best to pick a strategy and stick with it. Avoid part furnished. It is increasingly common for landlords of unfurnished properties to supply washing machines, fridge freezers and other white goods. Number 6 is let only or managed. Think about who, either you as a landlord or as the agent, will be managing the property after it's let. Ultimately, this comes down to what is best for you, the owner. Many landlords have the significant time and experience to be able to deal and manage properties themselves, whilst others prefer to instruct an agent to do this for them. In deciding what is best for you, consider how easy it is for you to coordinate maintenance issues and also to visit the property. What level of understanding do you have about the legislation and governing tenancies? How much direct contact do you want with the tenant? Number 7 is getting the right tenant. Selecting a good tenant is the most fundamental part of the process. Any mistakes made in this decision can create problems at a later stage. Good agents can help guide you towards the best tenants and away from the worst tenants. And this is done by a combination of 2 factors. Firstly, referencing and obtaining evidence and proof of the applicant's income, credit status and rental history. And also experience. Good agents will have developed an understanding of different tenant profiles and any associated risks. Number 8 is budget sensibly. Property ownership carries with it a risk of ongoing cost. Make sure your financial planning takes account of mortgage costs and rising interest rates, income tax, repairs and ongoing maintenance and improvements, and late or non-payment of rent. Number 9 is have adequate insurance. Owners should notify their property insurers prior to granting a tenancy if the house is being let furnished, the consent of the contents. Insurers will also be needed to know that the owners may be advised to convert their, and the owners will also be advised to convert their buildings and contents insurance to a landlord's policy. Landlord's insurance includes cover for rent protection in the event of insurable perils such as flooring or fire damage, malicious or accidental damage by the tenant, and property owner's liability insurance, and landlord's contents cover. And number 10, choose agents wisely. Letting agents remain as largely unregulated and a largely regulated industry, and anyone open to agencies without necessarily having qualifications, experience and knowledge. Choosing an agent with a proven track record of letting and managing property in your area and one regulated by a respected industry body is key to making the right decision. If you are a landlord and you are looking for advice, we offer a free consultation service at Fife Properties, so please feel free to contact me or click the link in the post above. Also, please feel free to like, share and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Richard Cook for Fife Properties TV.